Up at 4, our News 5 investigative team is looking into how a woman in Pueblo was given 2 different versions of the COVID-19 vaccine.
As Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Ross discovered, this goes against guidance from the Pueblo Health Department and the CDC.
Good afternoon. What happened at the state fairgrounds in Pueblo under Centura's watch not only goes against nationwide guidance from the CDC, but mixing vaccines is only in clinical phases right now. That practice has not been approved for general distribution in the United States. So now the question is, how did something like this happen? Cassidy Garcia received her first dose of the Pfizer vaccine at the Pueblo Mall on March 11th, just before the vaccine site moved to a new location on the state fairgrounds.
When I went to go get my next vaccine, they had said that I was supposed to get the Moderna, but I told them, well, my card says Pfizer and I'm sure I got Pfizer, and they said, no. You know, it says Moderna on our system, that's what we're going to give you.
Cassidy reluctantly got the vaccine and produced this card showing us that she in fact received 2 different vaccines. She says shortly after receiving the Moderna vaccine, she started feeling ill.
I had about 102 temp for about 48 hours. I was like nauseated. I was shakes, chills, fever. I mean, it was just bad.
Now, these are normal symptoms patients may experience after being fully vaccinated. They cannot be attributed solely to receiving a mixture of 2 vaccines. Still, Cassidy was worried and contacted the health department.
The lady had confirmed it was the Pfizer vaccine. I received it first. And then she said she has to talk to a supervisor. She hasn't heard of this happening before, and she wasn't sure what the next steps were.
Cassidy says Centura Health and the Pueblo Health Department never got back to her, so she reached out to us. When we asked the Pueblo Health Department about whether it authorized mixing vaccines given to patients, a spokesperson replied and said the department does not have the authority to approve mixing vaccines. Dr. Christopher Urbina, the health department's medical officer, telling us, quote, the goal is to vaccinate every participant at their first and second dose appointments from the same company. The CDC also saying COVID-19 vaccines are not interchangeable. The safety and efficacy of a mixed product series have not been evaluated, and both doses of the series should be completed with the same product.
I just need to know what the next steps are. Do I have to get a 3rd vaccine? Am I fully vaccinated now, or what happens from here?
According to the Pueblo Health Department, Cassidy is still considered fully vaccinated, so there's no need for her to go back and get any additional shots. I also followed up with her, and she tells me her flu-like symptoms have went away, so some good news there. It's also important to note that we have not heard of any other cases where a patient has received 2 different versions of a COVID-19 vaccine. So at this point in time, it appears to be an isolated incident, but we'll keep an eye on things. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Ross.